All right, so this question is from NCRT Exemplar. I had a look at some of the solutions being done by the coaching institutes, and I disagree with most of the solutions and the approach being taken. I think the explanation is not up to the mark. So I'll just give you my perspective on how to solve such a question. Okay, this is a question of a cricket ball which is hit by a bat. Okay, and for a very short time interval. Now, this concept of a impulsive force, which is a short-term force, right, is very important to understand because it links it to the change in momentum. But I think most of the solutions fail to explain what exactly is happening when the ball strikes a bat. See, this is what happens, and let me explain you. The when the ball comes and hits the bat, okay, so this is your the bat, for example. Okay, this is your bat. If a ball comes and hits it, okay, it hits it, there is a very short time interval for which the ball stays in contact with the bat. Okay, so therefore we have to start with certain velocity, which is v initial, and let's say this is x-axis. Okay, it's in one dimension. Now the bat and the ball are in touch with each other for a very brief period of time. So if I were to draw a velocity time graph, okay, velocity time graph, this ball, okay, this ball is compressing the bat gradually. Okay, so the compression of the bat is happening. The bat is getting compressed actually, and so is the ball. So if assume that the bat is not getting compressed, the ball is getting compressed. So the shape of the ball changes from a complete circle, sphere, to maybe an ellipse. I'm just guessing. Okay, so the compression of the ball takes time, right? So now here the ball was coming, this is velocity. So the ball was coming with a constant velocity, and this was initial velocity. It This is where the contact between the bat and the ball started. This is a point. So I'm drawing velocity of the ball and the time graph. And now, because of the compression, now they're in touch with each other. Both bat and the ball are in touch with each other. The ball is gradually compressing inside the bat and losing velocity. So the velocity of the ball is going down. Okay, it is going down. It is losing. This is, we are referring to very small time interval of, you know maybe milliseconds or microseconds, because when you hit it, it doesn't take too much time. It's a very short interval of time. Even if you're playing golf or you're playing cricket, or you're playing football, where you do a head kick. Even a head kick is for a very short duration time. That is where the impulse force is, and you can feel the football actually deforming, changing shape. It compresses. So this is where the velocity is lost, and now the velocity becomes zero at the point of maximum compression. Okay, so this is maximum compression. So this is maximum compression, where the ball has compressed completely and stopped now. And the force on the ball, therefore, is the highest force. Okay. So now what happens? Now the ball starts coming back. It has been hit, right? So first it stays in touch, reaches the maximum compression, turns back, and the contact with the bat reduces. Okay, the velocity now after hitting from here starts going back. It starts going back. Okay, so this is your V final, and it is in the opposite direction. And this is where, okay, and obviously because you're, now reversed, I'm drawing it in the other quadrant. This is your final velocity, right? This is your final velocity. And now you have no contact, no contact with the bat. So you have no contact with the bat and therefore you attain your final velocity. So the short period of time for which all of this happened, and this ball actually, started losing contact with the bat from here, and the velocity started moving in the opposite direction, and at a certain place it left the bat, and all this happened in a very short time of interval. Okay, this particular this particular situation, right, is the velocity versus times perspective of what exactly is happening to the ball when it touches the uh, bat. Okay, and it turns back. So this is the short time interval which is referred to in the question. If you see it from perspective of how does acceleration is getting impacted, so what we do actually is we draw a graph corresponding to this, which could be a force versus time graph, right? So the force versus time graph, if you notice, you attain your maximum force here. So the graph looks like you attain a maximum compression here where you have maximum force because your change in velocity is very high. And I will come to the change in velocity part and the momentum and all. And then it reverses in the other direction. So this is your force and this is your time. So this is the impulse being referred to when we draw that force versus time graph. I saw a lot of people just blindly mentioning this and saying we will get an impulse graph like this, which is fine, but there is no explanation as to what exactly is happening between the ball and the this particular concept of the compression, right? The compression is very important. Now, how do we link all of this to change in uh, change in momentum and impulse? This is another thing you need to understand. See, for example, if you have a situation where, and I'm just giving you an example here. Let me just use one example. So let's say there is a situation where, and let me just rub this off for a while, right? So this is not required. Okay, so let's say you have a footballer. Okay, a footballer is this is a footballer's head. Okay, and a ball comes and strikes the footballer's head. Okay, so this is its initial momentum, and then the footballer hits it and the ball is taken to some other direction, right? So maybe the direction is like this. Okay, so this is your P final. So you have two vectors. One is your P initial and the second is your vector, which is the vector of P final, right? So if I draw a P final from here, okay, P final and P initial, the difference of these two vectors, okay, the P final vector minus the P initial vector will give me the J, the impulse, the short duration force, which is also written as F into T. So the graph under this is the impulse, okay, is the impulse. This is the graph which is this. So if you get two vectors of momentum in this situation where you have a golfer or a cricket ball being hit and turned back, you can calculate the impulse not only from F into T but also using the vectors of P final and P initial. So if you do a vector subtraction, which is PF minus P initial, so one of the vectors is P initial is in this direction and your P final is in this direction, right? So your resultant of P final minus P initial will give you the J. So you can also solve these questions. These are important questions for you to do and practice. Please do watch my playlist on momentum and collision. Very, very good conceptual videos available on it which explain this concept of impulse, collisions, and force into time graphs very well. So don't forget to watch it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for your time. This was a question from NCERT Exemplar. I liked this question because it was a very concept driven question. And unless you really understand this concept of maximum compression and the contact beginning and the contact ending, it's rather difficult to draw a graph of impulse also, right? Thank you very much for your time and look forward to see you soon.